Hey everyone, glad you found the show. My name is Tyler Kluver, and this is the Tyler Kluver Podcast, or the TK Pod for short. This is just a relaxed, informal, no expectation way for me to create content based on my thoughts around health and fitness, maybe occasionally business or personal development, as well as document my personal competitive fitness career. Very self centered. Putting that out there up front. I hope I can entertain for 15 to 30 minutes a week and maybe provide the occasional nugget of knowledge or advice to help somebody out with their own life. Again, I'm just glad you're here. I welcome any feedback to make this show better. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Let's have ourselves a day. All right, here we are, the TK Pod, Tyler Kluver Podcast. We're back for another week. And if you're watching the YouTube, there's an overlay. Just haven't done it yet. It's a busy week. Your boy flies out tomorrow. As you listen to this on Wednesday, the 22nd, I fly out Thursday, the 23rd, not early in the morning, but 7:30 we'll be out of here and landing in Miami later in the day for the competition that we've been previewing, Wodapalooza, arguably the biggest CrossFit competition in the world every year. I think there's a couple metrics or ways that you could actually describe it as that. Um, there's like 1,500 or 2,000 athletes competing at this thing across 40 plus divisions, all the way from you could just sign up in the open division and just be in it's the least competitive and you don't qualify for anything, you just happen to be the first to sign up, all the way to you're an elite pro and you compete and qualify for the best, most toughest competitive division, and you could actually win a bunch of money. um our team Gary, not sure, I don't even have the whole backstory on that name yet, but we are in the second division, not the elite or pro division, but we qualified for the division just underneath that. And very excited to be down there. This is the biggest CrossFit competition of my life. I am arguably, I would say, as I sit here 2 days away from leaving, all around, I think I am the fittest I've ever been when it comes to CrossFit. Couple inside metrics there that I actually might not quite be as good lung wise, pure aerobically as I was last year, but I'm currently stronger than I've ever been, better at skills with more volume than I've ever been, skills specific to CrossFit. And then you add on top of that, maybe 98 or 99% all time lung fitness, breathing fitness, aerobic ability. And all around for the sport of CrossFit, I am in the best shape I've ever been. So, good timing, good prep. We managed to stay healthy the entire time for the most part. We'll touch on that here in a second. And we're 2 days out from that. Now, what makes that fun is I got a flat tire and a dead battery at the same time today, 2 days out. Not only do I leave in 2 days, I need my car to drive to the airport and, all those things, pick up my daughter from daycare, do a couple other errands. But because I leave Thursday, this week's work is condensed. It's shortened. 5 days has now been pushed into 3 days. And really 2.5 days, or 2 days, being Tuesday when I'm recording this and Wednesday, because Monday was Martin Luther King Day. Daughter was home, wife was home. We got an extra kind of a weekend day. So I have a shitload to do both today and tomorrow. And now we've added in the unknown of I need to get my car up to the shop to get a new tire put on, and that's going to take who knows how long, an hour, 2 hours, hopefully not longer than that. That just makes my days even tighter. So this podcast might feel rushed. It might feel a little thin as far as diving into the Wodapalooza prep, but this is what I have time for. I'm squeezing it in right before lunch on Tuesday morning. We're very excited. Again, like I said, we are prepped. Uh, I have been the last couple weeks. I think we've gotten 6 or 7 sessions in as a team where we're actually able to complete all of the workouts, or at least parts of the workouts that are important, of the actual workouts that have been announced that we will do down in Miami. We figured out where the strategy points are, who's going to do what on certain workouts, how we approach certain parts of it. Gotten to work with, most importantly, the worm, which is just a long, skinny a 3-person sandbag that is brutal for teams to handle if you've never got your hands on it. We did about 3 or 4 sessions with that, and just so happened that in our final session yesterday, it clicked, and we were moving that thing pretty good. And that's going to help us out a lot, especially versus teams who haven't been able to um, get their hands on that as before they go down to the competition. And personally, my training's been going great. We've been in 2-a-day mode for a couple months now, which means 3 or 4 days a week. We're hitting a 2-a-day. We're doing about 3 hours ish of fitness a day. Uh, Very hard, intense training, high volume stuff, high output. We started the rowing program, and the first 2 or 3 days of the rowing program is going well. We plan to hit another one of those this afternoon, as long as we're not getting our tire changed. Um, and uh, the workouts specifically that have come out for Wadapalooza, I would say that there's only 6 workouts. When you're in a team setting, a lot of your weaknesses can sort of be covered up in 2 different ways. One, team workouts are written oftentimes in a way where you're sharing work. So something that you maybe aren't as good at, your other teammates can pick up a couple more reps. They can do 55 or 60% of that work where you can take a little bit off. There's certainly a couple of workouts where that's going to happen for me or my other 2 teammates, depending on the work. And then in another sense, oftentimes you're just being helped. Like you're either carrying a weight or doing something that you're getting help with. And there's a lot of high output stuff, a lot of there's not a ton of volume. And then on top of that, specifically this year, the team workouts were programmed to where the longest workout is going to take about 16 minutes. And it's just because there's a lot of reps. It's not necessarily a lot of aerobic volume or anything crazy. Everything else is going to be in that 7 to 12-minute time frame. And it suits well for us. I think it's a big man year. And what that means is there's a lot of machines. There's a lot of heavier implements, the worm, 245-pound power cleans, uh, heavy overhead squats for reps. So I think it's a big guy year. There's no long running. There's no high volume chest to bars. There's muscle ups, but only about 20 muscle ups per person, 21, which is not high volume for us. And then the toes to bar is the one thing. There's 75 combined toes to bar that is in our worst workout. So it's a big guy workout. Again, I talked about how our team is pretty big relative to your average team. We're clocking at, we got a guy who's 6'1", 220, a guy who's 5'11", 220, and then me, who's uh, right at 5'10". And by the time we get down there, I'll be about 200 pounds even. So, average weight for our team is right around 415 or 415, 215 a guy, 210 to 215 per guy. And, on the taller side in the CrossFit space. My weight cut went perfectly. I dropped about a pound per week over the last 4 weeks, and I wanted to be closer to 200 or 198 than I was 205, 206. We've done that perfectly, and we've actually done it intuitively without having to track anything. So that's been awesome. Aesthetically, I look great too, which is awesome. We're just in an all around good spot. Again, the workouts are good for us. I'm excited. I feel pretty confident in what I have to do for each of one of these things. And if you want to see what kind of workouts we're going to be going through, just search Wadapalooza, go to their website and click the workouts. You can see the 6 that we're going to be doing. It'll be live streamed. So if you're curious, go to YouTube over the weekend and search Loud and Live Sports, and they'll have a stream all day. You can find the heats. I'm on the RX male team, and you can find the heat schedule of that, and we're Team Gary, and then you can kind of decipher, oh, what lane are they in? Okay, and there they are, and you can kind of actually watch me compete. So that'll be cool. Um, yeah, I'm excited. On another note, I don't travel a lot, so this is just fun for me to get on an airplane and by myself and go down to Miami and stay in an Airbnb with some fitness friends. See some people that you don't see a lot. A couple other people that are going to be there. Going to be doing it again in 2 weeks. But right now, we are really focused on just getting my car having 4 working legs. We just need all the tires so that I can get to the fucking airport. Um, but again, we slipped into this qualification. We were right outside of the top, the 40 that qualified for this technically, um, when the qualifier happened. Usually what happens is not every single one of those 40 is going to accept the invite, right? Some people are going to think it's too expensive. Some people are going to end up not being able to go because of conflict. Some people are just going to choose not to go. So we were one of, I think, gosh, 5 or 10 teams, maybe even more, that backfilled into this. So we are technically on the bottom if you're going to rank us coming in from the qualifier. I do believe that the three of us are all game day competitors more than we are a qualifier workout online. There's a lot of nuance that goes into that in the fitness world of why you'd be better at in-person events than qualifiers, but the 3 of us are much more suited for an in-person event. So I think our ceiling is higher here. Knowing that we're coming in the last heat, ranked around like 35th out of 40. My goal for us is to fight and ball out and really finish in the top 20 of this competition. If we could get somewhere around 20th or better out of 40, I think that would be a super successful weekend. I don't have any delusion of us winning the whole thing. That would be crazy if we somehow found ourselves in the last heat and and in a competitive spot to try and actually like get on the podium or something. But I think we've got a decent chance to compete in the top half of these teams. So we'll see once we're down there. A lot of unknowns. I don't know what nutrition is going to look like. I'm sure we're going to go on a grocery haul. When you leave for the day down there, we're not going to be back and forth to the Airbnb a lot. So we're going to be at the beach for 8, 10 hours at a time. There are athlete areas where you can recover and get in the cold tub and be in the shade, but who knows what they're going to have for food around there, nutrition, refueling, recovery. So that's all going to play a factor. We'll have 2 events every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And every pretty much the time zones of those events, sort of the ranges. We'll do an event kind of every morning around 10 o'clock, and then an event every afternoon around 4 or 5 p.m. in Miami. Um, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's going to be a good time. This is a good warm up too, because this was sort of the extra competition that I fell into with these two guys, Isaac and Reggie. Where the big one is later in the month with me and my partner Spencer in Charleston, which is 2 weeks from now. We'll be doing another one of these, and I'll be previewing that competition. Half of the workouts are already out for that as well, so a lot to talk about when we get there. But that's pretty much it. As you guys hear this, I'm busy pretty much preparing to head off to Miami, and next week we'll recap the competition. I'm very excited. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys listening, and we'll talk next week. Hopefully, we win.